Hi, I'm Lucy Wiegersma and I'm a performance rider on the eventing squad.
And so it's less than 200 days to go before the actual event itself in London 2012. Tell us a bit about how the preparations have been going and the training, please, in the run-up to the event.
Well, the three horses that I've got as possible contenders for selection, they're all fit and well, raring to go. Our competition season starts in just under 2 weeks now, and with selection coming up at the end of May, all three horses are already qualified, but they've got to get some really good results over the next 3 months and hopefully wow the selectors.
And so tell us how many hours a week you're sort of training at the moment.
Oh gosh, well personally I ride probably for 9 or 10 hours a day. Obviously the three horses that are my main hopes, they would work probably for an hour and a half each day, so yeah, they have a slightly less rigorous schedule than I do, but I've got a lot of young horses coming up and they need lots of training, and it's one of the idiosyncrasies of equestrian sport that as well as trying to be an elite athlete, you also have a business to run, and you have to keep the money coming into the bank. So that's obviously quite an important part of life as well. And
could you tell us a bit about the horses that you're training with?
Yeah, I've got, as I said, three. The 13-year-old Woodfall's Inigo Jones. He's aiming for badminton. He's had good 4-star form in the past. Had a little bit of an injury last year, but is now back on form. Then Simon Paulo, who's a 12-year-old. He's also heading for badminton. And then Grantefka Prince, who's also 12. He's heading for Kentucky and America.
And I guess in an equestrian event, there has to be a sort of a real strong relationship between the rider and the horse, like a mutual kind of trust. Could you just explain your relationship with the horses?
Yeah, I mean, two of the horses I've had, right from the beginning of their careers, really. Woodfall's Inigo Jones, Scooby, he's known at home. We actually bought him as a foal, so we've had a very long-standing relationship. Grantefka Prince I've ridden since a 5-year-old. So there's a lot of years of building up, mutual understanding, and for me, I really enjoy producing my own young horses and being part of their education all the way through. It's very rewarding, and I think makes a stronger partnership at the end of the day.
And so tell us, for you personally, what sort of keeps you motivated if you're having a bad day out there?
Or when it's pouring with rain and -2, I mean this year obviously the very tangible dream of competing in London really keeps me motivated. Overall I think just the satisfaction of producing young talented horses and allowing them to try and fulfil their potential.
And looking ahead to London 2012, who do you feel are your biggest competitors?
Well, first of all, I got to get onto the squad, and I think we've got a very strong breadth of talent in this country, so that's going to be quite a challenge in itself. But for Team GB overall, I think the Germans are probably the biggest threat at the moment. But they've been hot favourites and come unstuck in the past, so I think if we hold our nerve and perform to our best, I think we've got a very real chance of pulling off the big one.
Sure. And finally, can you just tell us, please, what it would mean to you to perform at the 2012 Olympics in London, in England?
It's what going to the Olympics is what I've dreamt of since I was a tiny child. So it is absolutely been my lifetime's ambition within the sport. To do it on home territory just would be phenomenal. I think I've never been to an Olympics before, but I'm sure it would make it twice the experience of a normal Olympics. So at the moment I can only imagine what it would be like, but hopefully this time next year I'll be able to give you a definitive answer.
WinkBall.